What's going on, guys? It's your boy LQ, Mr. Real Deal Fantasy HQ, and welcome to the RotoBaller Fantasy Sports YouTube channel. Please make sure you guys like and subscribe. Hey, it's week 9. We got the start 'em, sit 'em defenses for week 9. 3 starts, 1 fade. Please bear with me. I'm a little under the weather, so I'm going to try to get through these the best I can. But, man, we're already here to week 9. Got some defenses that you should be starting, and 1 defense you should be fading. So, I don't want to waste any more time, so let's get right into the episode. So you got a couple teams on bye week. So now we're going to be looking at a spicy play this week. Week 9 got the Seahawks going up against the Ravens. Now, you might seem this might be a little bit of a difficult task for the Seahawks, but it's not. After not recording 1 sack in week 1, since week 2, they're actually ranked 2nd in the NFL in most sacks right now. They're actually one of the only teams in the NFL since week 2 who are averaging 4 sacks per game. So obviously points are on the table for the Seahawks team going against this Ravens offense as well. And again, it's not impossible to sack Lamar. He's actually the 8th most sacked quarterback with 20 so far this season. And I think this could be a task where the Seahawks can have the advantage of taking care of things on the run because they're averaging less than 100 rushing yards per game right now. And they're actually tied for the fewest passing touchdowns allowed so far this season. So the Seahawks defense have been hitting on all cylinders as of late, actually this entire season. And they just added a new addition, Leonard Williams from the Giants, which was a great trade by them, adding to this pass rush, adding to this defense who's already been ascending above all categories. So I like the addition. I like this move. And I actually like this matchup this week going against the Ravens. Like I said, it's not impossible to sack Lamar Jackson. We know he's a magician back there, and we know this offense is starting to click as well. But this is a gamble play this way, but I definitely like the Seahawks this week as an option to be a plug and play into starting lineups. Next up, now we have 5 quarterbacks go down on Sunday in week 8, so it's time to take advantage of some of these teams who are going to be going in with backup quarterbacks or quarterbacks that are just going to be plain old injured. And I think the Packers going against the Rams is a great matchup for you can plug and play the Packers. They're very available on the wire. I've checked. They're out there floating around where you could pick them up and put them in this week against the Rams. Matthew Stafford dealing with a sprained thumb. He's going to be day-to-day. No telling if he's going to play or not, but if he is going to play, a broken, hurt Matthew Stafford is just as good as a no Matthew Stafford against this high blitz rate and high pressure rate defense in the Packers. So we already know that the O-line over there in LA has been struggling. They've been allowing a ton of pressures. They're actually allowing the 2nd most hurry-ups right now, which creates quick passes, which equals turnovers and likelihood of fumbles and et cetera, et cetera. Matthew Stafford having that sprained thumb is definitely going to play a factor into this game. And I like the Packers that they're a high blitz rate, they're a high team and QB pressures, and this is where the points are going to be made here to create the turnovers, create the fumbles, and create the sacks, and et cetera, et cetera. This is going to be a good game where you could plug and play the Packers and be confident in them this week that they could put up points on the board or maintain those 10 points that we know and love from these defenses. So the Packers will be a good play this week if you got the Lions on bye right now. You got, other teams like the Denver Broncos who showed up good last week with their Chiefs. They're on bye, so you can't pick them up. But like I said, this will be a nice plug and play for the teams that are on bye right now. And the Packers, honestly, I like that they're a high blitz rate, like I said before. So they might be able to create some turnovers, man. They might create some sacks, so the points are there. So feel confident. Feel okay with having the Packers versus the Rams this week into your starting lineups. Like I said, another matchup where you need to take advantage of the 5 quarterbacks that went down on Sunday. Tyrod Taylor was one of them for the Giants, so they might be going out there with Tommy DeVito, his Jersey guy. Got to root for my guys from Jersey, but man, it was a massacre last Sunday, man. I mean, Saquon Barkley ran the ball at least 100 times. I mean, it was ridiculous. Only 7 total passing yards between Tommy DeVito and Tyrod Taylor. So therefore, this offense is not moving in the right direction that I like. And the Raiders have been sneaky defenses that you could put in and out of your defensive starting lineups in the past couple of weeks. They're a team that brings the pressure. There's a team that actually has some turnover ability. So I like this matchup just based on you being a bully, just you pouncing on the Giants, being that they're weak right now. The Giants defense is also another option you can put in the starting lineups, but I'm going to hold off right there just based on the morale of this team right now. They might be in the gutter, but they've been playing really good football as of late. But I'm going to stick with the Raiders here. I think this is another team that's available to you on the wire. You kind of been popping them in and out of your starting lineups. And then all for teams I've been seeing, some people's on Yahoo just dropping them, picking them up, et cetera, et cetera. So this could be a team that can score big this week in the top ranks and when it comes to defensive points. I mean, they're probably going to hold the Giants to I'm not going to say 7 total passing yards again, but a very low minimum where the passing yards and the rushing yards might be up on the usage of Saquon Barkley, but I'm still not quite worried there because overall this offense isn't going to be able to go down the field every single play to try to score points. So this is a good matchup here if you're looking for a defense that could just maintain the points with some upside to put some points on the board with the turnovers and sacks and fumbles and et cetera, et cetera. So I like the Raiders this week going against the Giants. Sorry, Giants. Sorry, New Jersey, but man, I got to root against you this week. Now to get to a defense that I think you should be fading this week, and I think it'd be very, very, very risky business of putting the Eagles in your starting lineup against the Cowboys this week. Division game, it's going to be ugly. Yes, they're home, but man, looking at this Cowboys team, they're coming off of high confidence, beating the crap out of my Rams team, by the way, putting up 40+ points. But man, looking at this Eagles defense as of the last couple of weeks, they've been struggling stopping teams from scoring. And this Dallas team, they're known to be scoring on this Eagles defense, no matter if they're home or away. The Eagles defense are allowing 25 points per game versus the Cowboys at home since 2020. That's tied most with the Giants. And they only had 5 sacks in those last 3 home games versus the Cowboys. So there's not that many points on the board right here for the Eagles defense to pounce on Dak in that offense. So this is just isn't a battle that I want to risk it this week with the Eagles in my starting lineups, because this could be a situation where they can hurt you rather than help you in the situation right now. They're 8th most points allowed since week 4. This is also something that I don't think a lot of teams or a lot of people are really focused on right now. It's not talked about it much right now. So they're allowing a lot of teams to go down the field and score some points. And like, yeah, we know Dak has his issues with turnovers, but man, he actually has 11-to-1 TD interception ratio versus the Eagles right now. So that is just unheard of when you're thinking about Dak and all these turnovers he's had as of late. So they're very good at scoring points. We all know that the Cowboys and Eagles games always end up either in a high scoring battle or it comes right down to the end. So I definitely don't want to play the gamble game this week with the Eagles in my starting lineups. Probably pivot to other options because, again, this defense has been struggling at stopping teams from scoring points. I mean, that's the main issue here with this Eagles defense, and they've obviously dealt with their injuries and their struggles, but they should be coming back into form. But still, I just don't want to risk it this week going against the Cowboys offense and Dak Prescott that's been pretty good at scoring points on them in the last couple of years. So this wraps up another great episode of RotoBaller Fantasy Sports YouTube channel. Please make sure you guys like and subscribe. Let's get these subscribers up. Let's get these comments up, because if you leave your comment below on what you guys think about the episode or your starting sit questions, I'll answer them all the way up into start time. So please make sure you guys follow me at Real Deal Fantasy on all social media platforms. Until next time.